When it comes to making a responsible energy decision for your family and the planet, choose clean natural gas from Atmos Energy. Natural gas is safer and more reliable than other energy solutions and can reduce your home's carbon emissions by up to 45%. By using less total energy than other energy sources, natural gas lowers your impact on the environment. It's just another way that Atmos Energy makes your life better. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Hi, I'm Roger Cador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Welcome to Week 10 of the Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs along with the coach at the Shoppers Values Foods located out at Old Hammond and Flannery. Coach, we start this week talking a little Southern football. Jaguars, unfortunately, dropped the Bayou Classic to Grambling State, but they were in this thing until the end, Coach.
Oh, they played very well. I was very impressed with the fact that they had a chance to win toward the end. And, but Grambling had more personnel at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They had the really good line, offense and defensive line. I think that's why the game was really won in this situation.
As it typically is. In the 44 years of the Classic, Grambling right now holds a very slight 23-21 winning edge. That's about as close as you can get, and it says a lot about the state of this rivalry, doesn't it?
It really does. To be as balanced as it is in terms of games won and lost, when Grambling over the years have had those great teams.
Right.
And Southern has played well in the Classic, and they did again this year, but again, as we mentioned, fell just a little short.
Even though the Jaguars, as you mentioned, lost, all things considered, it was still a heck of a season for Dawson Odoms and company, wasn't it?
Oh, my goodness. I don't think the Jaguar Nation really know how great a season it was and what Coach Odom and his staff did. When you think only 12 kids they brought in to the program and had to do with a lot of walk-ons, I mean, that's a fantastic job.
Phenomenal.
And their quarterback went down early in the year, and they had to really hold on, and the defense wasn't that good, and then they made them put them in situation where they got better. So it's just an outstanding coaching job, Coach Odom. Kudos to you.
Big time. Next year, we go to a new system in the conference where everybody plays everybody else. Team with the best record, winner takes all. You go on to the Celebration Bowl to take on the champion of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Do you like that formula, Coach?
I love that formula. I think it's the way it should be. When they first went to the East or West Divisional Championship play. The people who created it created to make money. I don't know how much money the SWAC made, because if Southern and Jackson wasn't in it, I don't think that they made a lot of fame, had a lot of fame. So, but I like the fact that they don't have that extra game and that you can win it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but now you speak of finances. Ultimately, will it hurt the individual schools financially because we no longer get the big paydays that we get by playing up a level of competition?
Well, it is what it is when it comes to that. Those days are coming to an end anyway, as I see them. Because at the higher level, they're saying we no longer want you to do that.
Strength of schedule and the whole nine.
Yeah, which is hurting Alabama now, even though they played Mercer toward the end, but they have a 61 rating, which is hurting them as they try to squeeze back in.
Yep. When we come back for segment 2, we'll talk a little LSU Tiger football. Stay with us. You're watching The Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
The biggest biggest scratch-off game of the season is here. It's Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery. Your chance to win up to $100,000. Scratch the back for an extra game. Enter the second chance drawing for the grand prize, a 2018 season ticket package. Play Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery for your chance to make this your winning season.
It was nearly a decade ago that Brett teamed up to Imagine Your Parks, and you imagine big. 12 beautiful community parks from one end of the parish to the other, one family-sized water park, and 5 other parks just for your dogs. You have places to splash and places to explore. You have games to play and camps galore. No matter what you like to do or see, visit Breck.org and see how together we have made Breck better than imagined.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Welcome back for segment 2 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show, coming to you this week from the Shoppers Value Foods, Old Hammond at Flannery. It, of course, is the holiday season, and value these days and these times more important than ever. And, of course, when it comes to food value, that's something that you have to have each and every week of your life, whether it's the holidays or not. So when you want great value, great food, and great service, the only thing you need to remember is Shoppers Value, proud sponsors of the Roger Cador Show. Coach, this segment, we shift gears and talk a little LSU Tiger football, closing out the regular season on a winning note, beating back a stubborn bunch of Aggies from Texas A&M.
I swear, they really did a good job. Just think where that team came from.
Yes.
They wanted to run Bebe Ogeron out of town after the second and third game of the year. They were prepared.
Yeah.
And they finished 9-3. I thought that was a great year for them. Mm-hmm. They stumbled against Troy and Mississippi State, but pulled a loss to a good Alabama team. So I really think they had a great year.
And, of course, the year isn't over just yet. There's going to be a bowl game on the horizon. How do you think the young men leaving early to turn pro view the bowl games coming up? Do they look at it like the rest of the team or the fans, for that matter, understanding they're going on to much bigger and better things?
If they could skip it, they're skipping it. And you got people in their ear saying, man, don't play this game.
Right.
You get hurt, you lose money.
Right.
So you got to be careful because those kids may not play, Mm-hmm. But there'll be some kids who want to play because they want to improve that draft stock, their positioning.
Right. You look at the SEC coaching carousel. Man, this thing is like the coaching world has gone stark raving mad. I can't remember the last time, I know it has to be at least 50 years, since the SEC had 5 coaching vacancies. What does all this say to Roger Cador?
It says that something crazy is going on, and it's called MONEY. The Benjamin, the dollar, money. And if they can't make the big money or can't satisfy the fan base, they're getting rid of them.
Right.
And when I look at the coach Sumlin from Texas A&M with a winning percentage, that guy had done really good. And then you run him out of town and pay him $10 million, something's really wrong. Where is Texas A&M going to go with Alabama and Auburn in that division? And then LSU. I mean, where can you go?
And that's a perfect segue to the next question. This coaching carousel, this madness and this rash of firings, how much of this do we contribute to the you can't beat Nick Saban atmosphere?
Well, nobody's beating him.
Right.
When I look at the last 5-6 years, Nick has lost 5 games in the last 6 years. So that tells me not a lot of people have beaten him.
Right.
And, when I hear people say, we're going to get rid of Coach Odom because he punted the ball and they ran the ball back. I said, y'all have to be kidding. Are you going to put the first $100,000 up? Those are the kind of crazy things fan says, and that's why they're fans, I guess.
Yeah, and interestingly, this time around, LSU gets to kind of sit back and do the chuckle, the ha 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 at the rest of the teams. Funny how these things work out, isn't it?
They really work out, and it's just crazy. I just look at it and I sit back and laugh because I've been in this profession for over 40 years.
Right.
And I've seen the madness of what has taken place. It's really mad, but it's good for the fans.
Oh,
You're happy.
Yeah, if the old folks tell us if you stick around long enough, you'll see just about everything. When we come back, little downer for the Saints, but we'll talk about it when the Roger Cador Show continues. Stay close.
Yeah.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
The biggest scratch-off game of the season is here. It's Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery. Your chance to win up to $100,000. Scratch the back for an extra game. Enter the second chance drawing for the grand prize, a 2018 season ticket package. Play Saints Game On from the Louisiana Lottery for your chance to make this your winning season.
Welcome back for segment 3 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. You know, it's the time of year, guys and girls, where we pause to give thanks for all the wonderful blessings that we have. And there's nothing more precious nor anything that means more to us than the gift of good health. And fortunately, that's where Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center comes in. Everything from the launching of their new kids hospital all the way to the cancer center and all points in between, working as hard as humanly possible to make sure that we all enjoy the benefits of good health. Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center, proud sponsors of the Roger Cador Show. Coach, we shift gears now and talk a little Saints football. We all knew it had to happen at some point. We were hoping it wouldn't, but conventional wisdom says it's going to happen at some point. Winning streak comes to an end against the Rams in a game that, quite frankly, the Saints didn't play that well.
They didn't play well at all. I didn't see the whole game, but, you know, they didn't play well in the first quarter, first half. They got made, the Rams really took advantage of their defense. And I contributed because the Saints did have a couple of people out.
Right.
And number 32, Vaccaro didn't play well at all. He played terrible. And that young quarterback took advantage of him for the Rams. But you know what? The Saints are showing life that they will come back. They don't give up. The defense bend, but they don't break, a la George Allen's defense. And I just think that if they could keep other people from going down and get their other people back in, they still have a chance.
Just last week, Coach, we talked about having that false sense of security after that miraculous comeback against the Redskins. This time, Saints fell behind, mounted a furious comeback, but fell short. How much danger is there in the believing you can come back at any time, especially when you're playing a good team?
Well, I don't think that's the situation that exists with the Saints at all. I just think that they happen to get behind.
Right.
And they were trying to catch up, but that's not what they're trying to do. That's not in their game plan.
Right.
But I don't think that trust me, at the professional level, teams understand on a given weekend anybody can beat you. And so they're not trying to let any team do anything. It just happened that way.
From a coaching standpoint, I've got to imagine, shouldn't be hard to get a team back up after having your winning streak snap, should it?
It shouldn't, but you don't know what's going to happen. Again, it goes back to injury. If you can't get your starters on the field, you're going to have some hiccup. The NFL is too good for them not to take advantage of that weak spot.
What do you say to the average fan listening right now that says, well, maybe it's a good idea every now and then to get a bit of a wake-up call to stop you from getting cocky or overconfident? What do you say to that fan?
Don't listen to that fan. Don't listen to that fan at all. I'm telling you, he's a fan.
Things right now in the NFC South about as competitive as you can get. Did you ever think you'd see the day when this division would be this tight with this many teams playing good football?
I could see it because you're talking about the Saints, Carolina, Falcon,
and Tampa Bay.
And Tampa Bay. All are in the hunt for doing it. But the top three teams, they're playing very well and could knock off everybody. See, as long as they can put their main players on the field, they've got a chance.
When we come back, we'll have a special look at a guy that has a special situation with this guy when the Roger Cador Show continues. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Roger Cador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Pod's moving in storage.
I need to clean out my study.
We'll deliver a container.
My brother-in-law's moving in.
Maybe he'll help you pack.
He's lazy.
We can refer some professionals.
It's just until he finds work.
We can keep things at our storage center for as long as it takes.
I am not happy about this.
Or you can keep your things on site for quick unloading.
Did you say freeloading?
I said unloading.
I heard freeloading.
I'm sure you did.
Store on site or let us drive your things to our secure storage center. Pods, moving and storage, solved.
Welcome back for segment 4 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. For those of us that are longtime Southern baseball fans, for many years now, we got accustomed to one guy, one face, patrolling the dugout, the third base line. But starting this year, there's a new sheriff in town. Our special correspondent, Aaron Fulbright, has an inside look at new Jaguar baseball coach, Karl Jackson. Aaron, take it away.
On July 25th, Southern University hired Karl Jackson as their first head baseball coach in 34 years, following Coach Cador, of course, and it was the first hire for AD Roman Banks. So I'm here at Southern to talk with Coach Jackson to see how he's adjusting to being a head coach and adjusting to Southern University. So Coach, you've coached in the collegiate level at Missouri, and before that Nichols, was it? And then you were an agent, now you're back as head coach. How has that adjustment been, and how does it feel to be back as on the collegiate level?
You know what, the adjustment hasn't been that bad because I wasn't away from the collegiate environment that long. A majority of my career has been spent at the collegiate level. So making that adjustment back to it, even in the agent world, you're still in that collegiate environment, even though we're dealing with high school kids, but we're some of the high school kids that we had, we're making college decisions, and then some of the college kids we had. So you kind of stay in that environment. I think the biggest thing obviously is just being back on the field and being with kids on a daily and regular basis, and that part has been good for me.
Well, what about adjusting to Southern? I know that's kind of a difficult thing to get into, you know, for some, because it's such a tight-knit family here at the Jaguar Nation, and they love their tradition and all that. So how has it been adjusting to the culture of Southern?
You know what, it's been pretty good. Like I said, I did go to Bethune-Cookman, so being used to being in that environment before as a student athlete, and now coming to it and being on this side from a coaching standpoint, like you said, the people, one, at HBCUs are just passionate in general, but specifically when you talk about the people here in Southern Louisiana, they're very passionate about what they claim to, and then the people here at Southern are even more passionate. And so being able to go out and meet some different people and talk to them about my vision and where I want the program to go, I think we have a lot of support, and so hopefully once springtime rolls around, they'll get out there and they'll be supporting us as well. I think the idea of it being a challenge would exist if I thought of myself as replacing him, and I'm not replacing him. I'm just continuing on what he started. So you can't replace somebody like that who has been here for that long as a coach and as a player, who's been a member of the community. So hopefully what I can do is take what he built and continue to build on it and take it to another level. But I didn't necessarily feel any angst in replacing him because I didn't feel like that was the case. It's just, hey, here's something that he's handing off to me, and then now it's my job to take it and continue to move it forward. Really sound.
What could fans expect, do you think, just from seeing from fall ball with these guys for the new season?
I think competitive from start to finish. I think, again, a new level of energy, an attention to detail. As I told everybody, I can't promise that we're going to win more games, but we're going to play better. And so there's a wide gamut of things that need to be covered in this game. And so what we're putting the emphasis on is taking every day, one day at a time, and with the emphasis on getting better each day and not worrying about the big picture at the end, but just focusing on the process. So I think what they're going to see is they're going to see kids that are going to come out. We're going to play the game a little bit better, I believe, and we're going to play it with a lot more energy than we have in the past.
Do you have like a coaching motto or something that you try to instill in your guys?
Pride. And for me, that's it basically comes down to personal responsibility and delivering excellence. So what I want them to do and what I've challenged them to do is, yes, you're representing the program, but at the end of the day, you're also representing yourself. And so how do you want people to see you, and what do you want people to say about you and how you go about your business and the things that you do? And so when I challenge them to do that in every aspect of their lives, I think it now manifests itself on the baseball field as well.
Like we can expect some exciting new things coming out of the baseball program, and we're months away from the season starting. They're going to kick it off with the Urban Youth Academy down in New Orleans, that series that we've always done, that starts February 16th. And like Coach Jackson said, he just encourages all the fans to come out and to continue to support these young men and Southern University. Back to you, Clarence.
Aaron, thank you, and great job as always. When we come back, we will wrap up Week 10 of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Paws moving and storage.
We just sold our house.
Congratulations.
We have 2 weeks to move.
We'll deliver a few containers.
Our new home's not ready.
No problem. You can store things with us while you're between homes.
We might need help.
We'll refer trusted packers.
We'll be staying at my brother's.
Well, that sounds...
He has kids of his own.
Well...
5 of them.
Ma'am?
Help.
Trust us for local and long-distance moving and store at our storage centers. Pods, moving and storage, solved.
It was nearly a decade ago that Brett teamed up to Imagine Your Parks, and you imagine big. 12 beautiful community parks from one end of the parish to the other, one family-sized water park, and 5 other parks just for your dogs. You have places to splash and places to explore. You have games to play and camps galore. No matter what you like to do or see, visit Breck.org and see how together we have made Breck better than imagined.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Welcome back for the final segment of Week 10 of the Roger Cador Show, coming to you from Shoppers Value Foods at Old Hammond at Flannery. Coach, I don't know how many of our viewers can see it, but just out of our shot is Tony Sashery's Cajun Turkey Injectables. Thanksgiving, holiday, of course, just passed, Christmas right around the corner. You had a very special adventure with some turkeys of your own just recently, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to do something, give back something. My wife died from cancer, and so I gave some turkeys to the Cancer Foundation of Baton Rouge.
Awesome.
And it was just something to give back.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Hilla Moore and some other people, we cooked a lot of other turkey for other people. So,
right.
But this is a wonderful thing to be able to do.
Amen. Amen. Jaguars are going to be retooling next season football-wise after record-setting quarterback Austin Howard has now completed his stay at Southern. But you got to feel good about the future of the program now that it's back in good graces with the NC2A, Coach.
Yeah, and the thing that's going to help them, if they could get transfer coming down from D1 level, that's really the best way they're going to be able to compete and win, because they got to get kids coming down from the D1 level and then get some high school kids for the future.
Across town, expectations are running pretty high for the new guy heading up the LSU basketball program, Coach Will Wade. I understand you had the opportunity to meet him recently.
I met him yesterday, and I told him, Dawn, you look like a baby. You look like he was 20 years old. And he just had fun, but he's a good-looking young man. Obviously, he's a good basketball coach.
Yeah. I often wonder if Louisiana kids stayed at home to play for Louisiana schools exclusively, how much we could dominate certain sports. But at the end of the day, you can't fault a kid for wanting to go out, see the world, and make their own way, can you?
Certainly, and I think it's healthy, because people have choices, so it's always good.
I know you want to wish the best of luck as well to the area high school teams that are still in the hunt for a state football championship.
Go Louisiana, go Baton Rouge team, go get them.
It is certainly going to be something worth your support, and of course we encourage you, along with the Shoppers Value family, if at all possible, go down to the Dome and support your favorite local high school team. That is going to do it for Week 10 of the Roger Cador Show. On behalf of the coach and our entire crew, I'm Clarence Buggs. We'll see you next week with another edition of the Roger Cador Show. Go Jags.